Here we're given a quadratic equation, 2x squared minus x equals 4, and we're asked to solve this using 3 different methods. So we're first asked to solve by graphing, then by factoring, then using the quadratic formula. Before we start, I'm going to go ahead and write this equation in standard form. That's just going to make our life easier when we get to factoring and we get to the quadratic formula methods. So 2x squared minus x minus 4 equals 0. So to solve by factoring, we're going to go to our y equals and enter 2x squared minus x minus 4, and then also enter 0. So the quadratic in y1 and then 0 in y2. I'm going to go ahead and graph that on a standard window, and we're going to get something that looks like what you see on the screen. I'm going to go ahead and transcribe that over here on my paper. Get as close as I can. There we go. So I'm interested in this ordered pair and this ordered pair as my horizontal intercepts, which then will lead to the solutions to the quadratic. So I'm going to run through second calc number 5, and I'm going to press enter 3 times. And that's going to help me understand that x2 is approximately equal to 1.686. And I'm just going to write the solution values here instead of the horizontal intercepts. Then second calc 5 again, but I need to move my cursor before I do that. So as long as it's closer to this intersection than this one, I'm okay. So press enter then 3 times. So I get x1 is approximately negative 1.186. Now, just by looking at these two values, these are not nice numbers, they're not integer values, so we are not going to be able to factor to solve by factoring. So I'm going to say this is a prime quadratic, does not factor over integers. So we're off the hook on the factoring method. Let's solve using the quadratic formula. So I'm going to start with x equals negative b, and I'm going to pull a, b, and c from standard form. So a is 2, b is negative 1, c is negative 4, and I'm reading that from the equation up here, 2x squared minus x minus 4 equals 0. So let me start over here, just so that you understand where everything comes from. So quadratic formula, x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4 times a times c. And then all of that is over 2 times a. I'm going to simplify. Negative 1 is 1 plus or minus the square root. Negative 1 squared is a 1. Negative times a negative is plus. 4 times 2 is 8 times 4 is 32. All of that divided by 4. So I get 1 plus or minus the square root of 33 over 4. x1 then is going to equal 1 minus the square root 33 over 4. Let's go to our calculator. Second quit to get back to the home screen. And then I'm going to enter the entire fraction. 1 minus square root 33. Use my arrows to get to the end of the square root and the parenthesis divided by 4. And that's approximately equal to negative 1.186. And that was confirmed in our graph. So then for x2, we're going to compute 1 plus the square root of 33 over 4, and that's going to be approximately, should be 1.686, but let's make sure. 1 plus square root 33 divide, and let's go back, see what happens if you don't use your arrow keys to move to the end of your square root. 33, and then use my arrow key, there we go, and my parenthesis, and divided by 4, and I get 1.686, which is what I was hoping to get, and that confirms and is confirmed by what we found in our graph.